My name is Frances Hallworth, and I am the Executive Director of United Way Niagara. On behalf of our Board of Directors and staff, we welcome everyone to our 2021 Campaign Kickoff. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. I would like to begin today's event by acknowledging the land on which we live, work, and play. We acknowledge that Niagara is the traditional territory of the diverse First Nations, including the Six Nations and the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and in a particular way, those nations' Two-Spirit people. Niagara also has a special connection to the Métis Nation. These are the waters and lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Covenant and by diverse treaties. Here we are at yet another Zoom event. I know I am not alone when I say that I'm looking forward to getting back to the new normal. But what is normal? For nearly 60,000 people in Niagara, normal is struggling to put food on the table. For over 650 individuals, normal is setting up camp in a parking lot for yet another sleepless night. For countless vulnerable women, normal is hiding in fear from their abusive partner. Normal is not good for everyone, but we can do better. The pandemic continues to reveal what we already know. Vulnerable people in our community simply do not have the same capacity to cope with and recover from the devastating impacts of COVID-19. It has become clear that we have more work to do. Food insecurity has skyrocketed, the housing crisis is getting worse, the shadow pandemic of gender-based violence is present, and youth mental health is an ongoing challenge. It is no secret that individuals and families have been pushed to their limits, and the social sector is being stretched beyond its capacity to serve them. That's why this campaign is so important in our recovery as a community. We have the opportunity to do better. Your attendance today demonstrates that you are ready to do your part to help us rebuild. Now, please join me in welcoming the 2021 Campaign Chair, Chief of Police Brian Mcculloch, to help us kick things off.
Thank you, Frances. And thank you all for joining us today. When Frances asked me if I would consider taking on the role of campaign chair this year, I was honored. United Way and the Niagara Regional Police Service share a common goal of creating safe communities where everyone thrives. It's no surprise that as a workplace, the NRP has consistently been one of United Way's top 20 employee campaigns for several decades. I'm proud to be leading the campaign this year. With the many challenges facing our community's most vulnerable as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, I personally felt compelled to get involved and to do all I can to raise the necessary funds to help our community recover. Our service works closely with so many of United Way's funded agency partners on a daily basis, including Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Distress Center, Jillian's Place, the Raft, Women's Place, and the YWCA, just to name a few. The pandemic has amplified issues that were previously lurking in the shadows. Issues like poverty, mental illness, and food insecurity were prevalent in Niagara long before we ever heard the term COVID-19. The ripple effects of this pandemic on these issues will remain long after the public health crisis is over. In just a moment, we'll be joined by Elizabeth Zimmerman, Executive Director of the YWCA Niagara Region, to share her observations of the increased demands on the YWCA's services. We know that these pressures are being felt across all of United Way's funded agency partners, and that's why it's so important that we come together as a community as we move forward towards recovery. Did you know that every 6 days a woman is killed by her intimate partner in Canada? And 75% of human trafficking victims who have been trafficked in the GTA will come through the Golden Horseshoe? These and all of the issues that Elizabeth will speak to deeply concern both the NRP and the YWCA. And that's why I'm so glad to have Elizabeth with us today to shed some light on these issues. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Elizabeth Zimmerman, Executive Director of the YWCA Niagara Region.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Zimmerman. I'm the Executive Director for the YWCA Niagara region. It's great to have you here today. We're standing in front of a shelter for homeless women and their children in Niagara Falls. This is a program that's actually funded and supported by United Way. This program that we offer here supports many women coming through our door that need just those additional crisis supports in the immediate when they've lost their housing. And through our program, they are connected to other community resources, and we help them to find permanent housing. This is a 20-bed shelter and is always full now, often over full. And what we've seen in the last several years has been a huge increase in the demand for services, largely due to the increased cost of housing and the lack of availability of affordable housing. Niagara Falls is really challenged that way. It has had over the last few years what they call a 0% occupancy rate for rentals, and that makes it really tough when you're living with low income and trying to find appropriate housing, particularly if you're a mom with kids. In the last years, we've seen such a tremendous increase in the number of women accessing all of our services. But here in this shelter, which is one of the programs supported by United Way, we've also seen that increase. And it takes just one life event. I often tell the story of a young woman who was staying with us with her young child, working full time, and her car broke down, and she had to make a decision between paying her rent or fixing her car that got her to her job. And she chose to fix her car. Well, it didn't take long, and she found that herself evicted and without housing. And that's the kind of things that people face. And certainly as women who are living on the margins, who are either underemployed or working several part-time jobs, and it's just too hard to make ends meet, particularly in this housing market that we're in now. So we're grateful for the United Way support for this program to make sure that we can be here 24 hours a day. And that brings me to other programs that the United Way funds. So even in this program here, one of the things that we're able to do is provide skills development programs. So these are programs that help women to be thinking about maybe more employment goals, dealing with the things that have caused them to become homeless. And so those are programs that are also funded by United Way. There are a lot of things that we would not be able to do if it wasn't for United Way. If it's between the shelter, our adult life skills, and our youth programs. We do a drop-in program for girls in high schools, and it's actually through that and the work that we've done, which is also a United Way funded program with street level sex trade workers, that we saw the need to have a program for women who've been sexually exploited for the purposes of human trafficking. And so in the last year, we opened a new program called A Safer House. It's a crisis housing program for young women who have been trafficked. And in there, we are able to connect them to community supports, able to work with them to deal with the trauma that they've experienced and help them to start to begin a new life. And again, here, United Way has played an important role in giving us funding to have a peer support worker, which is really an important role in terms of ensuring that there's staff on site who understand the challenges that they are facing and can work very directly with the women who are in the program. And so we're always grateful for the work that United Way does, and certainly for the support that they give us in our programs. And as I've said, there are a lot of programs we wouldn't be able to operate if it wasn't for the funding that we've received. And especially in these times, we've had a lot we've had to cope with in the last year and a half. And it's just exacerbated things that we were already seeing in terms of access to housing, access to resources. And so it's become even more important in this time for the community to come together and support organizations and ensuring those who are on the margins of our community, who need supports, who need help in whatever way it is that is needed. This is the time. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and thank you to all who are supporters of the programs that United Way funds. Thank you.
Today I invite you to join me in supporting United Way Niagara. Consider making a donation online or through your workplace. Follow United Way on social media, share our stories, and help us extend our reach all across Niagara. Thank you. And I look forward to sharing updates on the campaign through the coming months. Now back over to you, Frances.
Thank you, Brian. If you choose to make a monetary donation this year, your gift can go even further thanks to some incredible partners that have come forward as this year's matching gift sponsors. Today, I am thrilled to announce the Wineries of Niagara Leadership Challenge. This challenge will match first-time donations from individuals giving $1,200 or more, and increases from current leadership donors of 10% or more. Please join me in welcoming Donald Ziraldo from Ziraldo Estate Winery to bring greetings on behalf of the participating wineries.
Hello, everyone. My name is Donald Ziraldo, and I am pleased to be bringing greetings today on behalf of the participating wineries of Niagara. In 2016, several of the wineries came together to raise $130,000 for United Way as the leadership match sponsors. This year, for the 5th anniversary of our local wineries, have come together again and have collectively pledged to support United Way's leadership giving program. Thank you to each of these participating wineries for your generosity and commitment to improving the lives of individuals in Niagara. And thanks to each one of you for your support of the United Way. Together, we can make a difference.
Thank you, Donald, and thank you to all of the participating wineries. Now, it is my pleasure to announce the new donor match sponsored by MMP. Please join me in welcoming Pam Lilly from MMP to say a few words.
Hi everyone, my name is Pam Lilly, and I'm pleased to be bringing greetings today on behalf of MMP, a leading national accounting, tax, and business consulting firm. At MMP, we are committed to enhancing our communities where we live and work. This year, we are proud to be partnering with United Way Niagara as sponsors of the $25,000 new donor match. Make a first-time donation of any amount to United Way this year, and MMP will match your donation up to $25,000. That means with one gift, you can double your impact. For example, if you give $50 for the first time, we will also give $50, resulting in a $100 impact to our community. All donations are invested locally and help over 130,000 people in Niagara access the supports they need to thrive. If you can, please give today. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam, and thank you, MMP, for your continued support. I want to say a very big thank you to Chief Mcculloch, Elizabeth, Donald, and Pam for joining us today as we kick off our 2021 campaign. I'd also like to thank all of you for joining us and for your continued support and confidence in our work. Our goal this year is to impact the lives of 120,000 people in our community. Together, I know we can reach this target and help solve local issues to make the lives of so many in Niagara better. When the public health crisis is behind us, we will face an extraordinary challenge. How do we build back better in the face of increased inequality and deepening poverty across Niagara? A successful recovery from this pandemic involves all of us. That's why we are asking you to stand with us today to ensure everyone in our community has their fundamental needs met, and, even more importantly, to tear down the barriers that hold us back from reaching our community's fullest potential. Let us come together as a community. Let us stand shoulder to shoulder with our friends and neighbors who have lost their jobs, their stability, and their sense of connection because of this pandemic. With your gift, You are partnering with us, our funded partner agencies, and local residents to play a critical role in helping Niagara recover. Together, we can meet fundamental needs, tackle local poverty, and build an equitable recovery. Stand with your neighbors, break down barriers, help our community recover. Please give generously if you can. For more information or to get involved in the campaign, please visit unitedwayniagara.org. Thank you, stay safe, and have a great day.